If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you're probably aware that I feel that people who are adjacent to the music scene are often equally as important as the actual musicians themselves. So while the bands get all the attention, I think there's always room to recognize people like music writers, like bloggers, like podcasters, like photographers, like people who make zines, people who make posters, and all of those kind of side elements that help the music scene be what it is. And in the past, we've done episodes about poster design, we did a live panel discussion about music photography, and we're covering that topic again today. This is my interview with Jess Mann of Jess Mann Photography, who has been photographing the local music scene, specifically the punk, metal, heavier end of things, for the past few years. Jess has recently launched a magazine project that was initially part of a school project, but it documents the music scene in photo form. It obviously has to be seen to be believed, but because it's an audio medium, we talk about it in great detail, as well as Jess's experience in the local music scene, how this whole Jess Mann Photography project got started, and a lot more. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Park Theatre, Winnipeg's premier concert and event venue. If you want to find out all the great shows they have coming up, go to myparktheatre.com.
You're listening to Garbage Hill, Winnipeg's first podcast network.
Welcome to Witchpolice Radio. I am in the food court again, my second home. And if you've been listening to the show for a long time, you know that I really like talking about things that are tangentially related to the music scene. I mean, obviously, the show focuses on bands, but music photography is something that we've talked about a lot on the show. We did a live episode about it, and I'm always interested as someone who takes shitty photos, but likes looking at good photos, especially of shows I've been to and stuff. I'm always interested in the subject matter. So the person I'm speaking with today has a magazine that I guess was recently launched?
Yeah. First issue, I guess you could say.
Right on, focusing specifically on the local music scene. So let's just start off. You want to introduce yourself, and then we can sort of go from there.
I'm Jess Mann.
Okay, and Jess Mann of Jess Mann Photography?
Yeah, Jess Mann of Jess Mann Photography.
Okay, and how long have you been doing this? Strictly in terms of documenting live music?
In and around 10 years,
okay,
give or take. Like I started kind of just after high school, maybe kind of right at the end of high school. Mostly just taking pictures of my friend's band of Dead Ranch.
Yeah.
And the other main band that I photographed a lot was The Unwanted.
Okay, yeah.
They're not together anymore either. Similar story to you. A lot of them had kids.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, and before we started recording this, we were kind of talking about how, I tried to be in bands, and you said the same thing.
Yeah.
And you kind of find another way to get involved if you suck at it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm fully willing to admit that my bands are awful. Some of them are good, and it was never my fault that it was good. It was always the other guys were good. But yeah, so you have this Indie Music Winnipeg is the name of the publication here. And it's kind of just like a glossy photo gallery, really, of local music. So how did this whole thing come about?
Well, it started as like a school project. So I just finished the Prairie View School of Photography 2019 diploma program. Took me a while to get there. I was kind of on the fence about going to photography school for a while, and one of the classes was industry studies, kind of helps you get familiar with business practices, taxes, actually making a portfolio, so on and so forth.
All the stuff you need to actually succeed as a professional, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like at the end of the year, all the classes culminate, instead of having a proper written final exam, we had to put together a portfolio. And then this was like an extra credit thing. Okay. I don't know if it actually got me any higher of a mark or not necessarily.
Right. But you probably wanted to do it anyway, right? It seems like it, yeah.
I just really wanted to do it, because the formal portfolio, there were certain guidelines,
sure.
There's kind of certain things that they wanted to put in there, which isn't necessarily like the kind of thing that I'm into doing.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So, they said that there was also the option to do this. I think only 2 of my other classmates did a second portfolio.
Okay.
I think. And
so you're a keener.
Yeah, I am a keener in that way.
No, that's cool. I think that one of the things, especially now, because everyone has a cell phone, right? And everyone takes photos, and every photographer I've ever spoken to is just, it drives them crazy that everyone at the show is taking crappy pictures and getting in the way and all this stuff. But I guess what the difference is, to me anyway, as someone who likes to look at a lot of music photos, is that the people who are doing it professionally or even amateurly, but doing it like at a high level, is they're finding the right moment to capture, rather than just click, 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 click.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of photos. There's like an art to, I mean, like this picture on the cover, not that people can see it right now, but the action shot and getting the right emotion and expression and stuff is that takes a lot of skill and practice and everything to figure out. So I guess when you're at a show, what are you looking for? Like, are you looking for that moment, or are you just trying to kind of go with the flow of it as it's happening?
It is the decisive moment, as it was kind of described to us in school. You know, it was kind of fun. You go to school and you learn all these things, and I kind of had all these aha moments, like, oh, I've been doing this. Oh my God, I've been doing this. So it's part that waiting for the perfect moment, because with certain bands like Dead Quiet, just played this weekend.
On the hat.
Those guys, those guys have a lot of hair. They throw their heads around. So with them, like I was firing my flash off a lot at them, waiting for that perfect. The head hair flip moment. Yeah. But it depends. Sometimes if the show's lit kind of dramatically, it's a little bit decisive, a little bit go with the flow, because you also you want to get those candid moments and kind of catch everything as it's happening. Yeah. Does it help if you know the band's music? Like, I mean, you said Dead Ranch, you've photographed a lot of times. Yeah. Did knowing them and knowing their songs help you to sort of figure out, okay, at this point something's going to happen, just based on Absolutely. Yeah. If you know the song, you can kind of gauge like when certain movements are going to come up, and someone's going to jump up and suddenly in the air start throwing their hair around. Yeah, for sure. Cool. And is it? I mean, as far as styles of music, there's obviously a lot of heavy stuff in here. Is that sort of the main focus of what you're doing, or are you just kind of? Yes and no. Like, I'm trying to get more into other genres, I guess. Like, I'm trying to find some rap, hip hop, R&B shows. I want to start going to some jazz shows, because I do have those other musical interests. Yeah, for sure. This just kind of came about because most people I know, most of my friends are going to the punk and the metal shows. And for me, like, I love music and I love seeing my friends, so they go hand in hand. Right, and you can do this at the same time? Yeah. So sometimes I'll go to a show. I have never even listened to any of those bands' music on the bill at that night at the Handsome Daughter on a given night, and I'll just go because there's a show 10 of my friends on Facebook say that they might be going, so I'll go and shoot the whole show. And is it more challenging to shoot kind of genres that you're not as intimately familiar with? Like, I mean, if it's, I don't know, say a folk singer or something, is that an extra level of difficulty because maybe it's not what you're used to doing? Like, I mean, in terms of the kind of dynamics of when to take a picture, when the action's going to happen, because the guy with the guitar, there's not much movement going on, right? Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I'm trying to think if I've ever photographed any folk singers. I don't think I've photographed maybe you need to start mellow. I could see it being easier in the sense that they don't move around a lot. Yeah. So I can. But then you miss the dramatic moments, though, right? Yeah, because there's not, unless it's on their face, I guess. It's a lot of the same photo. Yeah. What kind of equipment do you use? Are you shooting this on film or digital or? Digital. Okay. Yeah, right now I have a Nikon D7200. I'm just using the kit 18 to 140 lens. Previously I've used Canon. I still have my Canon 7D. It's an older camera, but it's a good camera. Okay. I've also used Sony. Yeah, I'm not really married to any one brand. Right. So that's probably good. Yeah. Then you can make do in whatever situation. Yeah. And certain cameras are better for other things. Like, I'd like to get another Sony again because they're better for video. Okay. Yeah. Are you shooting a lot of video as well? Not really. I just did Travis Nolay's birthday party a week or two ago. I had never even thought about video at all. Yeah. Previous to going to school. And then they kind of brought it to us this is kind of it's built into the camera, right? That's coming into the industry. Yeah. And you look at Cryptic Sound, they're probably making a killing doing photo and video, and their videos are good. So yeah. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, whenever I go to a show, I'll take a couple, just kind of practice, just for my own purposes. Okay. Is that something you're hoping to do more in future? Yeah. Cool. Not anything I'm offering. No, right of course. Yeah. So when you're going to shows, I mean, the reason I ask this is because I've had people on the show like Dwayne Larson and Joey Senf and stuff who are, they get a lot of gigs where they're hired by the venues to take photos. Are you doing any of that, or is this just mainly you going to shows because you want to go to the show? Mainly me going to the shows. I haven't been hired by any venues. I've been hired by a couple of the bands. Oh, cool. So a few of the photos in there were hired gigs. It's probably half and half, honestly, between hired and not hired. haven't been so lucky to have a venue hire me yet because Joey and Dwayne, like, they do amazing
They
work.
kind of monopolize the city, right?
They've got it on the lockdown right now.
Sure,
So I pretty much have to wait for one of them to slip up.
Right. Right, yeah.
It's just that waiting game.
For sure. Yeah, they do have it. They definitely are out every night taking pictures somewhere.
And Dwayne came to come to our school, actually. He's a Prairie View grad as well.
Cool.
That was super exciting.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing it for a long time also.
Yeah.
Just at a pretty high level too.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed just kind of glancing through this is that it's all images. Like there's a tiny bit of text at the beginning, and I've seen a lot of photo books that have sort of descriptions of what's happening in the photo, who the band is, and everything. But you've decided to just keep it just strictly images.
Yeah, it had to do a bit with the format for the submitting it to school.
Okay.
I'm not much of a writer. Like I'd like to be a writer,
right.
But when I sit down and try to get the words out, it just doesn't seem to come that well sometimes.
Okay.
But I'll probably stick with the given format for this. I think going forward, I might just kind of add in this is this band at this venue.
Sure.
And that'll be about
just
it.
Like a little tiny caption.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see though, because I mean, I'm used to seeing, this big description, but this is just boom, 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 photos kind of thrown at you. Yeah. Is there a band that you like? Who's your favorite band to take photos of? Do you have one
right now? Oh man. I mean, it might be a bit biased because I just saw them, but Dead Quiet is sweet. Okay.
Well, I guess maybe a better way to word that is what makes a band someone you want to photograph. Like, I mean, you're going to a show, there's probably 8 bands playing, 5 bands, depending on the venue, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do they need to do to kind of catch your eye as a photographer?
Stage presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than anything. If you're just standing at your mic, not moving, not singing, you've got your head down,
Yeah, it's kind of boring to watch anyway, right? So yeah.
And I totally get it. There's anxiety, there's stage fright that can come into play. At Travis's birthday party, one of the guitarists came up to me and said, "Oh, could you tell how nervous I looked? It was my first show." Blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, a little bit."
But I think the funny thing about bands too is a lot of them, and I experienced this myself in my terrible bands, that you come off stage thinking, "Oh, that was awful." Everyone heard how bad I was, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that was great. We loved it." And so I think a lot of that anxiety is maybe more visible in a photo than it is on hearing it, because you can maybe see it on the face or something. I don't know. Yeah,
it's super funny because I'll go up to the band after the set and be like, "Oh man, here's my card. That was so good." Blah blah blah. They'll be like, "Oh no, it was terrible. I missed this note. I missed that note."
But you don't notice it. It's you're caught up in the fun of it, right? Yeah.
And even when I go and shoot a cover band night, I think 1 or 2 of the photos in there were from a Tool System of the Down cover band night.
Yeah.
Sure, because that was a cover show and I'm super familiar with the material, I noticed 1 or 2 notes here and there that were right.
Sure.
Do I care? Absolutely
not.
No,
you're having fun at the show. Yeah.
It sounded great still. Still a million times better than I could possibly
Sure.
play.
And you're not going to see the real bands here except for once every 10 years or something, right? So, I mean, at least,
I'm not going to pay to go to the MTS Center to see those bands.
Right, $65 or whatever it is. More probably, yeah. So is this going to, do you have a sort of a plan on what's going to happen with this magazine going forward? Are you going to, trying to do a regular schedule with it or something? Or
I was thinking I'd do another one after the summer, just to give myself some time to shoot some more things, get some more material.
Yeah.
And mostly just kind of playing around with ideas in my head. I really want to go to I believe it's now called the Seance Music Festival.
Yeah, it was Chadstock, right? Yeah.
Every intention of going there hopefully doesn't conflict with any other summer plans. And I kind of had the thought in my head just yesterday I should message Tyler, actually. I was thinking it'd be a cool idea to do a magazine on that, just the Seance Festival magazine.
Well, because there's so many bands there too, right? And that would be cool, yeah. Because it's a good idea. I mean, I feel like people having a physical copy of something like this is unusual nowadays. It shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. But I think 20, 30 years ago, people would have been doing this. Now it's all just someone will have a website or an Instagram page, and that's it. So what was the? I'm happy to see this. I mean, as someone who likes physical stuff still, But what was the, decision behind, aside from the project thing, to make a physical magazine in an age where people don't read physical magazines anymore? I still do, but you know what I mean.
Affordability, honestly. When when school proposed the second portfolio and they kind of said, people in the past have done this or done that or the other thing, I kind of started going to self-publishing websites and looking around at what was available. And honestly, it was mostly a money thing. I was a student, unemployed, no job other than the odd live
photo
set
gig or something.
And it was just really affordable to make. I felt like if I got a photo book, like a proper hardcover book, then that might be a little harder to market because if it costs more, you have to charge more for it.
Sure.
This is super affordable. Charging $40 each. I'm trying to find something local to like maybe try and make it a little cheaper and a little more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it would be awesome to see this at shows. Like if people could buy one, that would be kind of, I guess, your target audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But like, I don't have the money to just order and have like 20 or 30 on hand.
Of course, and then hopefully someone buys them, right? Yeah. Someone sponsor the. You're listening, and
please sponsor me.
And sponsor me too. I can use the help also.
Yeah.
Do you feel? I mean, part of the reason I do this is because I stopped playing in bands. I wanted to stay involved, but also just I kind of obsess over the idea of wanting to document what's going on in the local music scene. Like I kind of compulsively hoard local music, like tapes, CDs, records from whatever era to now. Every time I go to a thrift store and I find a local CD, I'm going to buy it. Just like
cool,
because I always worry that this stuff's going to go away. I know now with the internet, everyone's got videos, everyone's got Instagram and Facebook and stuff. It's a little different than it was in the 90s, of course, right? But I don't know. I still the idea of making sure everything is registered somewhere. It's like, here it's historically written down and or audio or visual. Like, is that part of why you're doing this, or is it just
absolutely. That's how I got into photography in the first place. Was I think my sister wanted a camera first, and she's the older sister, I'm the younger one. The younger one always wants to have a finger in whatever the older
no, I got two girls. I got it.
Yeah. So she asked Mom for a guitar, I wanted a guitar.
Sure.
She asked Mom for a camera, I wanted a camera. And kind of went off and running farther on guitar than she did, but still not that good at guitar, and obviously went off running and still running with photography. And just started taking photos of like me and my friends doing dumb stuff. Friends' first bands. Branch started playing shows. I started taking pictures of them, and absolutely, initially it was just like I just want to take photos of my friends on stage and support them, and like have like proof that this happened, because no pricks, no proof, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, no, I mean that good. Bring back Joey again. Joey Sempt. She when I was in a ska band in like '99. She took photos. She was there at the shows, she wasn't hired for anything, but she was taking photos. There's photos that she took of my shitty bands.
That would have been her amateur days.
It would have been her, exactly. And now she's obviously gone way beyond that. So I think everyone starts like that, right? Like just you're passionate about something, you want to document it.
I've got some really like gritty photos of bands that like from the Albert that I just shot on like a Sony like point and shoot.
Yeah. Cool.
But there's still like, because of the Albert, and it gives you that sense of the environment. Like it's shot on just like a $100 camera, but they're still good photos.
Yeah. Well, and you get the atmosphere of the place, right? And I guess kind of like the dinginess of the photo kind of fits with the era and the setting. Do you have? I mean, obviously you're going to a lot of shows and taking new photos, but do you have any desire to kind of go back through your archives and re-release some of those old pictures, like taken on?
I should. That's a thought, actually. Like every now and again, I go through them, and like just recently, I found a bunch of photos from 2012 that I'd shot on my Sony.
Okay.
And I kind of said to myself, "Wait a second, why did I get rid of this camera? Like, why did I convince myself that I needed a Canon? Like, these are great photos." The aspect ratio was a little weird on that particular camera, but they were really good photos, like really good definition.
Cool.
That's a thought. I should really do that.
Well, and the only reason I think of it is it's the same thing as me with like all my old tapes of friends' bands and stuff. That I'm always trying to like, get those heard again and everything. And it's the same thing, right? This is documenting an era, whether anyone cared about it or not. Like I care about it, you obviously care about it, right?
Yeah, totally do.
So, just to look, using the photo on the front of this magazine right now, how many shots did you take this show to get this one? I mean.
That one, not too many. So this is Vagina Witchcraft.
Who I really want to have on the podcast because they're awesome.
Oh,
really good band. Yeah.
Kayla's super cool too. I almost didn't even make it to that show, which was the crazy thing. And I just wanted to go to see Vagina Witchcraft. I wasn't necessarily like intending on trying to do like a big spread of them. And that was right when I was kind of starting to put the magazine together, and I didn't know what I wanted to put on the cover yet. I was still just kind of pulling together and doing like first cuts, second cuts of good images. And
well, this is a super evocative picture.
It's great. I don't know. I think I have like 10 or 12 different images where they're just framed a little differently, or they are more or less bent over kind of thing. And this one was just killer. The second I took it, I knew that was the cover image.
Cool, yeah. It's awesome, So I guess like what would it take to make this a regular thing that came out like, I don't know, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever, like is it just money that really is the kind of preventing this from happening?
Right now, yeah. Just because they just finished school.
Sure, yeah. Because I assume you have support from the bands, right? I'm assuming the bands are quite happy to see.
Yeah, they're
themselves,
super excited about it.
Yeah.
One of my friends' band, I know Evan Sidley in the Whatever Men. His drummer Thomas commented to me that he was a little disappointed that they didn't make a cut.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, well, sorry guys,
well, there's only how many pages here, right? It's not. Yeah.
There's 20 pages.
Okay.
And because this was like an assignment, it came a little more down to like the best quality photo in terms of technicality, less of rather than trying to show specific bands.
Right.
But I did
which maybe you would have done if it wasn't in the
Yeah. But I just made sure to make the point that they were definitely all bands from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Because I do go see the touring bands too.
Yeah, of course, sure. Yeah. Do you have when you were kind of starting to do this? Did you have any sort of role models as far as photographers that documented music that you looked up to, whether you knew them or not? Like they kind of was there someone whose aesthetic kind of appealed to you?
No one in particular. I'm really, as I've gone through school, I've kind of found that I'm really influenced just by that kind of 90s black and white film kind of aesthetic that you get in live music photography, fashion photography too, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just the way that they did black and white film in the 90s. There's just a look to it.
Absolutely. And the reason I was asking that is actually that's kind of where I was going with it. Do you know Charles Peterson's work?
I don't.
He did a lot of I have a book by him. It's called Screaming Life, and he did all the early Sub Pop covers, so all the early Nirvana shows and Soundgarden shows.
Nirvana's,
and Green River and stuff.
Fan.
Yeah, and the thing I like about his photos is that they're all black and white. There's a lot of motion in them and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all super kind of, you know exactly what kind of music it is based on the photo. And I think that's kind of a hard thing to do because it's literally a person with a guitar or a person singing, and it could be anything really. But this says punk rock.
Yeah.
That image, and and his photos, I always felt like, as a kid when I was listening to that stuff, I knew I was going to like it based on one of his photos being on the cover of a record. And so that's why I was kind of wondering if there's anyone that you sort of see the same way.
Yeah, specifically I do go to Nirvana albums and Nirvana live music images. Because I was that kid that my family didn't have a lot of money, so I would just print images off the printer and put them on my wall.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So I have no idea how many pages of Google Images I went through to get all these different images of Nirvana. And how many different images of Nirvana and Sonic Youth that I've seen.
Yeah.
And that particular aesthetic just appeals to me so much.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah. And it still works too. I think even 20 years later, you can still have a heavy or more aggressive band and do it in black and white, and it says something, right?
I'm trying to bring it back.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you interested in film at all, or is it all digital for you?
It's all digital for me. School touched on film a little bit. I didn't have a very good experience with it.
Okay.
Maybe it was just the camera I was using. I bought a camera off somebody on Kijiji.
Oh, yeah.
And I found them on Facebook later, so I know they're a legit person.
Yeah.
But it just the back kept opening. I kept having all these technical difficulties, and the film didn't develop very well. So I might revisit it later when I have money again.
Yeah, of course.
More set up.
Yeah.
When I have a space that I can kind of make a dark room in my own place. And
right. I guess you need all that stuff. Yeah. And the film's more expensive now because no one uses it anymore. Yeah.
It's $20 for a thing of film.
Which is more than it used to be. Yeah.
And then have a proper film. I just bought a $60 used film camera. If I go and get something that costs $200 or $300, the back isn't going to pop open on me.
Yeah, exactly, and then ruin everything that you. Yeah. Because when I went to Crecom River College a long time ago, but it was 2001 was my first year there. So they had photojournalism course, and we got to develop our own film. And before I started that course, I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go to shows and take pictures, and I'm gonna do, because I was reading these Charles Peterson books and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the process of actually developing the film, I was terrible at it. Something didn't.
Yeah, I'm not good at either.
And so that was it. I was done with that idea. But yeah, it's totally a different thing, right? I mean, digital is very much, you got to do the post production and editing and stuff. But yeah, it's really just click and you're good. But there's a whole extra.
Post production can be hard. It can be difficult. Yeah. But it's not a one-off thing. So if you feel like you messed it up,
you can go back, undo, undo,
reset, open up, just all the way back, reopen the original file. Whereas with film,
it's this is done. I've destroyed this now. Exactly. Yeah.
I made some prints for some friends of mine, back in December.
Okay.
And I think, oh man, I went to school thinking it was going to take me 20 minutes to bang this out. I was there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I have so many test strips that I'm planning on making a collage because the images were, it was an image of the Royal Albert and then an image of like a house that we all used to party at.
Okay.
And so yeah, I have just like 100 test strips of this image of the Albert of me like trying to get
exactly the right
all the right like numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad. I was so frustrated.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. It's weird because there's kind of like I see a lot of people using film as an aesthetic, and it just seems like it must be so annoying to trying to find all the equipment you need and everything, because it's there obviously. There's camera specialty stores and stuff, right? But it's
finding film equipment is really easy.
Is it? Everyone's selling them, right? Yeah, dark room. Yeah.
It's having a dark room, getting the chemicals, and having the paper. Like that's really what it is.
Right. The cameras are out there.
Yeah. Cameras are readily available.
Yeah, everyone's selling them because they move on to digital, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I have no idea where you get the chemicals.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Yeah.
You need a completely dark room, like a bathroom without a window, kind of thing.
Yeah, true, and not everyone has that in their house or apartment or whatever, right? So yeah. Have you considered doing any kind of show with your photos, just because it's music themed?
Like an art show? Yeah, I really do want to. Sometimes the money thing again. There's a lot of galleries around the exchange, and sometimes it's just a matter of a waiting list. It's kind of something I was planning on doing over the summer, is doing some research, trying to find like maybe another local live music photographer, not Dwayne or Joey, because they're great. They don't need help from someone like me.
Yeah. Well, they might though. They might be down for you. You should try them. Yeah.
Well, maybe Tyler. I was thinking about Tyler Heskard.
Okay.
Tyler Heskard, if you're listening.
Is he in here? I think I saw him when I was something.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Danger Fest is in there.
Yeah. Cool.
He does some really interesting photography.
Yeah,
too.
I've noticed that recently. He started doing that. Yeah.
And I think what he's doing is just buying like just cheap like point and shoot cameras and hoping for the best.
Cool.
He gets some really cool images.
Yeah, he probably gets a lot of crappy ones too, but
Well, we all do, right?
Everyone does, right? Yeah, because it seems like this is the kind of thing that would go well at a show. Yeah. Just like on the walls at a punk show or something, or a metal show, just photos, Yeah. Is there? So I guess I'm assuming you do other photos as well, not just music. So is that your main business? Is just doing like portraits and things, or is this?
No, I don't do a lot of portraits at all. I don't shoot weddings. I don't do engagements or family
That seems
photos.
like a really kind of crowded field anyway, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's super crowded. There's 18 or 19 people in my graduating class, and they're all going to go be portrait photographers.
Oh yeah.
I think one of them is going to go do real estate, and one person is focusing on video. Other than that, everyone's focusing on weddings. Portraits.
And then you're doing this.
Yeah. So there's very few of us out there. It is a really hard industry. I don't expect to pay my rent anytime soon doing this. But I think the magazines are helping. My other main thing is like nature, travel photography. I just put together an abstract magazine that it ships today.
Cool.
So like a week and a half. I'm very excited. It'll be in my hands.
Cool. What is that called?
So it's the Nature Abstract Collection. Anyone that's been following me for a little while knows I kind of just I struggle to describe it and define it sometimes. Is it the Rorschach chest?
Yeah. Like the ink blot thing?
Yeah, ink blots. Yeah. So it's the same concept, but nature.
Cool.
It kind of initially it started out more as just like a way to see nature differently. So at first I was kind of going more for just like details and stuff like that, and then it turned into more of a Rorschach abstract mirror images kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
But it's the kind of thing where I'll just go up, I might go out for a walk tomorrow and I'll see just kind of a cool looking tree or like the way the mud is laying, it's just like the way that I see things. I'll just see the composition lines and the way that it's laying down. I'll mirror it in Photoshop.
Okay,
and
cool.
They look really cool. People are really into it. I'm always really interested to hear what other people see in the image.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Which I guess is the opposite of this, because this is all happening and you got to capture it as it's happening. Yeah. Whereas I guess patterned in some mud, you can sit there and really make sure you get what you want out of it, right?
Yeah, kind of arrange, because that mud is not moving.
Right. Yeah.
Those tree branches are sitting right there.
Sure. Yeah. That's cool. So if people are hearing about this for the first time and hearing about you for the first time on the show, what's the best way for them to find out more information about see some more of your photos or hire you for photos or whatever?
Go to my website, which is jessmannphotography.com. JESSMANN.
Okay.
Nice German name.
Yeah.
And then my Instagram, same thing, jessmannphotography. My email is jessmannphotography@yahoo.ca.
Cool.
For a little bit, I'm going to change it because I feel like having a Yahoo email is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of one of those in a while.
Yeah. I think I have a Yahoo because I was using Flickr for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Like years ago.
Yeah, and they're connected,
Flickr
right?
was the big thing. And,
Yeah.
and then Yahoo bought Flickr, I think, and that's how that kind of happened. yeah, it's going to remain the Yahoo for a while because that's what's on my business cards.
Yeah, so until you run out of those, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run out of those. I'll change it.
And then can people see these music photos on the website and on the Instagram, or?
I'm pretty sure everything that's on there will be on Facebook or Instagram, one of the two.
Okay.
I am kind of backlogged just from school and all the assignments.
Yeah, of course,
Like, I do have a lot of stuff I need to upload to Facebook still.
Okay.
But pretty much everything is on Instagram.
Cool.
Quite a bit of it is on my website.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are there any copies of these floating around, or are they all?
There's just that one right now. Okay. I've sold 4 or 5 copies so far.
Cool.
And you can $40 e-transfer to jessmannphotography@yahoo.ca.
Okay.
If you catch me at a show, I'll take cash.
Yeah.
And it's about a week and a half to 2 weeks for it to ship.
Okay.
And then I'll bring it to you, or we can meet up.
Cool.
Whatever works.
So it's just on-demand printing, like whenever you need one, you. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, people should definitely check it out. I mean, it looks like and my quick perusal here while we're talking, I recognize a lot of the bands here. So
yeah, for sure.
It's very cool to see, people I know in action. I mean, I've seen them on stage before as it's happening, but yeah, it's cool to see these. And like I said, I always like music photography because I think it's just documenting what's going on is equally as important as what's actually going on stage, whether it's through a podcast or through a zine or photography or whatever. So it's great. Good to see. And if you want to hear more episodes of this show, including a lot of people who are in the magazine, go to witchpolice.com. All 380 whatever episodes are there for free download and streaming. And you can also tune in on Sunday nights at midnight on 101.5 UMFM. And those are older episodes that get broadcast many months after they originally get recorded. So this will be online in podcast form in a few weeks, but it might air like 5 months from now on UMFM. So if you happen to be listening to the radio at midnight on a Sunday and you hear this, you should go to the website and check out your photography.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's the podcast. Right on. Thanks a lot.